Fall is the season for fresh apple cider, and where better to get it than from a local producer? I visited AgriMissouri business Stephenson Orchards in Lee's Summit to find out just how the process works. I spoke with owner Ron Stephenson. Apple cider is a family tradition for him. He's a fourth-generation producer.
My great-grandfather started around 1885, so it's been in the family, and it's just something it's a part of my heritage, a part of what we've always done.
Ron says this year's conditions have been just right.
But for an apple season, the ideal would be to have like we had this year, which is to have a late spring, which therefore means you don't have much chance of a late freeze, mild temperatures throughout the summer the trees are not under any kind of heat stress, lots of rain, which we had to be able to make sure they aren't under moisture stress, and then cool nights through August into September to be able to make those apples really nice.
Ron walked me through the process of cider making. It goes something like this. The apples come from his own orchard as well as from nearby growers in places like Waverly and St. Joseph. They first go into cold storage for preservation purposes. The apples are combined, bin by bin, to make a mix of apples that will create a good-tasting cider. They then go through a machine that washes and brushes them to clean them up. After that, the apples are sorted and bad apples are removed. Ron says bad apples equal bad-tasting cider. Then the apples are rinsed again and put in the hammer mill where they are crushed up into a fine pulp. That's called pumice. The mushed up apples are pumped into a 2-chamber bag with an alternating plate press called a squeeze box. From there, the pumice gets put in an auger, which takes it to a manure spreader. The waste is disposed of by being spread out over the farm. Back inside, the juice is pumped into large holding tanks until they're put through the filter press. That machine takes the remaining solid materials out of the cider. When the juice comes out of the filter, it will be clear and clean. Then it goes through a flash pasteurizing process. Although unlikely, this part of the process ensures any illness-causing organisms are destroyed. The cider then goes into another set of tanks, and from there to the bottling machine. It gets bottled, boxed, and put back in the cold storage, ready for distribution. Ron says for his business, quality really does matter.
Our cider is something we take great pride in. It's something that we have for a lot of years. And one of the reasons is that we don't simply treat all the apples the same. Every apple has its own set of characteristics, and you have to be careful to blend those apples so that you have some kind of a good juice quality to it, some great flavor characteristics. And I think that we do that, and I think we attain that most of the time. There is science to it, and you can do it scientifically, but there's also a certain art to it, so that you need to be able to be constantly aware of what you're putting in there. The quality of the apple, not that it looks pretty, but the flavor components and quality that way of the apple dictates what the quality of the juice will be. If you put in poor apples, you get poor juice. If you put in great apples or good apples, you get some very good juice.
I'm Amy Winder for the AgriMissouri Showcase.